No, there's something about your energy that makes people uncomfortable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you carry a presence that's hard to ignore. When you walk into a room, people feel it, they can't explain it, but they know you're different. You don't even have to speak, and still your silence speaks louder than most people's words. That's how powerful your aura is. People with this kind of energy don't blend in. They stand out. And that's the thing. You were never meant to blend in. You intimidate people simply because you know who you are. You carry yourself with confidence. Even if you're quiet, you make eye contact that shakes people at their core. You move with purpose and others can't help but notice. And when people don't understand that kind of strength, they start to feel uneasy. It's not arrogance. It's not pride. It's alignment. You know yourself deeply and you refuse to shrink just to make others feel comfortable. That's something most people can't handle because they're used to others begging for approval, fighting to be liked, desperate for validation. But your validation comes from within. That kind of self-assurance makes people nervous. And let me tell you this, some people will confuse your energy with negativity simply because they can't stand the way you make them reflect on themselves. Your very existence forces them to see what they're lacking, and instead of being inspired, they get defensive. But that's not your problem. You weren't sent here to dim your light for people who can't stand brightness. You were sent here to shine regardless of who can handle it and who can't. Your aura makes people keep their distance sometimes because they know they can't manipulate you. They know you can see through lies, through fake smiles, through masks that others wear. Your intuition is sharp and your presence demands authenticity. That's why people either deeply admire you or secretly envy you. There's rarely an in-between. And here's the truth. Your power isn't for everyone. Not everyone deserves access to it. Not everyone can handle it. But the ones who can, they'll rise with you. They'll recognize you. They'll respect you. And they'll value you for exactly who you are. Those are your people. The rest, let them misunderstand. Let them distance themselves. Let them whisper. Because at the end of the day, your aura was never meant for the majority. It was meant for those who are strong enough to walk beside you. So stop shrinking, stop questioning why people pull away. Stop thinking something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You're simply too much for those who are too little. And that's okay. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. There's a reason why you can walk into a room without saying a single word, and yet people turn their heads. There's a reason why conversations stop when you pass by and eyes follow you even when you try not to be noticed. It's because your presence speaks before your mouth does. Your aura has a language of its own, and it's louder than any introduction you could ever give. People don't always understand it, but they feel it. They feel the weight of your energy, and that's something they can't ignore. And here's the truth. Not everyone is comfortable with that. Some people are unsettled by the fact that you don't have to try so hard to be seen. You just are. You don't have to beg for attention. You don't have to perform. You don't have to explain yourself. Your energy does all the talking. That in itself is intimidating to those who are used to people shrinking, to people begging for approval, to people who need to be validated before they feel like they matter. You don't operate like that. You know who you are, and because of that, your presence carries a natural authority. You can be sitting quietly, not even participating in the chaos around you, and yet people will still feel the weight of your silence. Why? Because it's not silence at all. It's presence. Your presence fills the room, and the truth is that makes people see themselves. Some people don't like what they see when your energy shines a light on them. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. You're not trying to make anyone feel small, but your very existence reminds others of what they're not doing. Your calmness exposes their restlessness. Your confidence exposes their insecurities. Your strength exposes their weakness. That's why they can't quite put their finger on why they feel uneasy around you. They'll whisper to themselves, something about them makes me uncomfortable. But the truth is, it's not something about you. It's something about them. You're just the mirror. And isn't it interesting how people project their discomfort back onto you? They'll call you intimidating. They'll call you cold. They'll call you distant. But really what they're feeling is the pressure of your energy against their fragility. They don't know how to handle someone who doesn't beg to be liked, someone who doesn't need to prove anything, someone who isn't desperate for validation. They can't understand how you can stand so comfortably in your own skin while they're still trying to fit into everyone else's mold. But here's what you need to remember. Your presence is not a curse, it's a gift. Don't let the discomfort of others make you think you need to shrink. Don't make the mistake of softening your energy just to make people feel safe in their insecurities. Because the right people, the ones who are strong, secure, and aligned, will feel something completely different in your presence. They'll feel inspired, they'll feel motivated, they'll feel awakened, they'll want to rise with you, not run from you. That's how you know your aura is powerful. It separates the ones who are ready to grow from the ones who would rather hide. It draws in those who are aligned and repels those who aren't. That's why some people gravitate toward you and others avoid you. That's why some people admire you deeply and others envy you silently. You're not meant to be neutral energy. You're meant to be undeniable. Understand this. When your presence speaks louder than your words, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth. You don't have to beg anyone to see your value. They feel it. They might deny it. They might resist it, but they can't escape it. Energy doesn't lie, and your energy is strong enough to shake people at their core. So don't be surprised when you notice people reacting strangely around you. Don't be surprised when you sense jealousy or tension from those who don't even know you that well. It's not about you personally, it's about the frequency you're vibrating on. You're operating at a level that others aren't used to, and that gap makes them uneasy. But that's not your burden to carry. Your only responsibility is to continue showing up as yourself, to continue walking into rooms with your head held high, to continue embracing the silence that makes others squirm, to continue being unapologetically present, because the right people will see it for what it is. Power, grace, strength, alignment, and those are the people you want around you anyway. Never confuse other people's discomfort with a sign that you need to change. That discomfort is simply proof that your presence is working. It's proof that your aura is too strong to be ignored. It's proof that you're on a path that not everyone can walk with you. And that's okay. You're not meant to be for everyone. You're meant to be for the few who can truly recognize and respect the power that you carry. So the next time you walk into a room and feel the eyes on you, remember this, it's not your clothes, it's not your looks, it's not your words, it's your energy. And when your energy is that undeniable, silence becomes your loudest statement. Confidence is one of those things people say they admire, but the truth is most of them can't handle it when they're standing in front of someone who actually has it. Real confidence is not loud. It's not about showing off. It's not about screaming for attention. And it's not about proving yourself to the world. Real confidence is quiet. It's calm. It's the kind of energy that doesn't need to announce itself because it simply exists. And when you have that kind of confidence, you intimidate people without even trying. Think about it. Most people are addicted to validation. They thrive on likes, compliments, reassurance. Their self-worth is fragile, constantly depending on who praises them and who doesn't. They bend themselves into shapes that aren't even theirs, just to be accepted. They hide their true selves because they fear rejection. They seek approval in every room they walk into. And then suddenly you enter that same room and you don't do any of that. You don't chase validation. You don't beg to be seen. You're not desperate to please anyone. You know who you are and you stand firm in that. And that right there shakes people. They can't figure you out. They're used to people being predictable, easy to read, easy to control. But when someone stands in their own power, when someone doesn't flinch in silence, when someone doesn't need to prove their worth, it leaves them unsettled. It's like looking at a locked door when you don't have the key. They can't access you. They can't reach into your soul and play with your insecurities because you've already done the work of healing them. You've already built that inner foundation and no one can tear it down. That's what makes you different. You see, true confidence doesn't need to prove itself. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the voice that doesn't waver. It's about walking into spaces and not needing to dominate, but still commanding attention. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that rejection doesn't scare you, failure doesn't define you, and other people's opinions don't control you. That's why people feel nervous around you. They can't figure out what fuels you because they only know how to run on external approval. You, on the other hand, are powered from within. And here's the thing, when people realize they can't manipulate you, they either respect you deeply or they resent you quietly because you don't give them the reaction they want. You don't bend when they try to test you. You don't chase when they pull away. You don't crumble when they withhold affection or attention. You remain solid, and that's terrifying to those who are used to controlling others. You show them a kind of strength they can't compete with. And instead of learning from it, instead of admiring it, some will label you as intimidating, arrogant, or distant. But none of those labels are true. They're just defense mechanisms from people who can't stand the mirror your presence holds up to them. Confidence, real confidence, is misunderstood. People think it's about being loud, but in reality, it's about not needing to say a word. It's about carrying yourself in a way that speaks louder than any introduction could. It's about knowing that whether people approve or not, you remain the same. Whether people stay or leave, you don't shrink. Whether people love you or hate you, you keep moving forward. And because you don't depend on their approval, you become untouchable. That's what makes others feel so small next to you, because they realize how dependent they are on the very things you've already freed yourself from. Let's be real, some people don't actually want you to be confident. They want you to be insecure, because insecure people are easier to control. Insecure people can be manipulated, can be guilt-tripped, can be kept in small boxes. But when you rise above that, when you stop asking for permission to exist, when you stop begging people to choose you, when you stop needing validation to feel good about yourself, you become unstoppable, and unstoppable people make others uncomfortable. But here's where the shift happens. You don't need everyone to be comfortable with you. You don't need everyone to accept you. You don't need everyone to like you. You only need to remain aligned with yourself. Because the right people, the strong ones, the grounded ones, the ones who are not threatened by your confidence will find you. They will respect you. They will stand beside you, not in competition, not in jealousy, but in admiration. Those are the people you want in your life. The rest, let them label you. Let them distance themselves. Let them misunderstand you. You don't exist to make people comfortable. You exist to live fully in your power. And if your confidence rattles the weak, so be it. That's not your burden to carry. You don't need to lower your voice, soften your energy, or shrink your presence just to soothe fragile egos. That's not why you're here. You're here to stand firm, to walk tall, to embody strength, and to show others what it looks like to be free. So the next time someone says you're intimidating, remember, that's not an insult, that's a reflection. They're not actually saying you're too much. They're saying they feel too little in your presence. And that is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to keep being who you are, to keep living in your truth, to keep walking in your confidence, no matter who can or can't handle it. Not everyone can handle your energy, and that is something you need to accept. You weren't created to be understood by everyone. You weren't made to be liked by every person you meet. You weren't put here to be accessible to anyone who feels entitled to your presence. The truth is, your aura isn't meant for everyone. It was never supposed to be. And that's the beauty of it. You see, when your energy carries weight, when your spirit is aligned, when your presence is powerful, not everyone is equipped to stand beside you. Some people will find excuses to distance themselves, and at first you'll wonder why. You'll question yourself, you'll think, what did I do wrong? Why do people fall away? But the answer is simple. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the pressure of your light. They couldn't handle the truth your energy exposes. They couldn't handle the standard you live by because it made them feel small in comparison. And instead of rising to meet you, they retreat. You have to understand that your aura is not for the majority. It's for the few who are strong enough to handle it. The ones who are secure in themselves. The ones who don't view your strength as a threat, but as an inspiration. The ones who see your confidence, your independence, your clarity, and instead of envying it, they respect it. Those are the people you're meant to connect with. Those are the people who deserve access to you. And here's where so many go wrong. They waste their energy trying to convince everyone to stay. They shrink themselves, they lower their vibration, they dull their own light just to be more relatable, but all that does is drain your power. You don't need to lower your frequency for people who were never meant to rise with you. You don't need to make yourself small to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. You don't need to chase people who've already shown you they can't handle your presence. The truth is, your aura will repel some people. And that's not rejection, that's protection. Life is filtering out the ones who don't belong beside you. Think about it. Would you really want to surround yourself with people who only tolerate a watered down version of you? People who can only handle you when you're silent, insecure, or uncertain. That's not love. That's not respect. That's control. And you were never made to live under someone else's control. So stop forcing connections. Stop begging for understanding. Stop expecting everyone to value what they can't even comprehend. Your aura is powerful for a reason, and part of that reason is to protect you, to make sure only those aligned with your energy can come close, to create boundaries without you even having to speak. That's why some people walk away without explanation. They weren't strong enough to handle you, and that's not your loss, that's theirs. And here's something else. The right people will never be intimidated by your aura. They won't feel the need to compete with you. They won't secretly envy you, and they won't resent your strength. Instead, they'll feel safe in your presence. They'll feel inspired to grow. They'll recognize that your power doesn't take away from theirs, but instead adds to it. Those people will celebrate you, not silence you. They'll push you higher, not hold you back. And those are the ones you want to keep close. Everyone else, let them go. Let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip. Let them envy. Let them distance themselves. That's not your concern. You don't need to waste your breath explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to see you. You don't need to fight to prove your worth to people who are blind to it. The ones who are meant for you will know. They will see. They will feel it. And nothing will scare them away. Your aura is not for the weak. It's not for the insecure. It's not for the ones who live in fear of their own reflection. Your aura is for the ones who can walk beside you without trying to dim your light. It's for the ones who can admire your strength without feeling threatened by it. It's for the ones who are secure enough in themselves to stand in your presence and not crumble. Those are your people. So stop asking why everyone can't stay. Stop asking why you're too much. You're not too much. You're just not for everyone. And that's the point. If your aura was easy for everyone to handle, it wouldn't be powerful at all. The fact that people fall away is proof of your strength, proof of your alignment, proof that you're operating on a level most people can't reach. At the end of the day, remember this. You don't need a crowd. You need the right circle. You don't need constant validation. You need authenticity. You don't need to be accessible to everyone. You need to protect your energy for the ones who truly value it. Because not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone has earned the right to be close to you. And the moment you understand that, you stop chasing, you stop shrinking, you stop questioning. You start walking with the certainty that the right ones will find you and the rest were never meant to stay.